What up, world? It's your boy Jaystar back again with the full strategy show, man, for the week 12 slate, man. I'm actually shocked I'm able to do this video. Told y'all earlier in the week, kind of thought, with Thanksgiving and everything like that, would be hard to get the, full strategy video done this week, but happy to gotten it done, man. So, being able to do this today and everything, but um it's gonna be great, man, because it's a lot of injuries to report. So it's actually really good that I did. I am able to do this video because the injuries is going to change a little bit of things. Where we want to key in on. Because a lot of cornerbacks and stuff like that open up receivers that already kind of was liking, but now it just made me like them even more. So as we always do, though, we're gonna go through each game, going through best picks and things like that, but updating you by injuries that are reported throughout each game when we go through them. So first game here we got is the Baltimore and the Jacksonville game, which I don't think there was any injuries in this game to report here, unless I missed this game, but I don't remember anything. Let me just make sure one more time, y'all, because I thought I went through each game, but it just feel like I don't remember anything being reported from this game. And I'm kind of like weird because every game has almost something, it feels like, even if it's not cornerbacks, of course. But let me just see if I got this up where I can just look at it. It doesn't look like there's anything that I'm seeing, I guess. So maybe it wasn't anything that's to report. Yeah, really. Okay, I remember. It was a cornerback, but it was a backup cornerback. So that's why I took for Baltimore or something like that. But other than that, everything was healthier. So let's go. We got Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence. I feel like this is a pretty could be a big game for Lamar Jackson. It's in play for him, man, just because Jacksonville gives up so many, fantasy points. Like it's there, it's actually there for the taking. I told y'all earlier, I think it was they're like 20 something fantasy points they're giving up, and 25 fantasy points to running back. And like both of those things is just Lamar Jackson. He's running 11 times. So I can see a rushing touchdown. I can see 2 to 3 touchdowns actually thrown. He's coming off of, a pretty whack game, for at least back-to-back games, specifically with not throwing a touchdown barely, but I can definitely see at least 2 touchdowns thrown here. Also with a rushed in touchdown, probably near almost 100 yards rushing. Something like that, man, for this game for him. So, looking and then to go with him though easily though, we know Mark Andrews is going to be huge in play for a big game. I think he's putting up 22 to 25 fantasy points in this game. Like I really do. He's their number one receiver. He's not a tight end. He's a receiver. He's like slot receiver / tight end. So definitely feel like he's in play. A lot of injuries too to their wide receivers. So it seems like the Mark Andrews stack is a full go this weekend. You can't trust anything on the run back side over here. Yeah, you can take Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, they do give up fantasy points to receivers. If you want to take Christian Kirk as a run back, you could definitely take that option. It seems like that's the only one that's more consistently at least catching his targets and stuff like that he's getting. So I don't mind you running back that if you want to do the stack, like I said, with the Lamar, with the also with what I'm gonna say, Mark Andrews and the Christian Kirk run back, possibly get you 20 something fantasy. He's the only person I feel like, if anybody that you was to run back there, that's gonna work for you. Because I can't even trust ETN, stuff like that. Plus, it's supposed to be a harder matchup anyways for the run there. So it is some points there available. A lot of points there available for receiver, and I feel like it would be Christian Kirk. Plus, he's in a great spot here because Baltimore's defense, playing a 3-4. Both of these teams going to attack the middle of the field. They both have their best weapons in the middle of the field, being Mark Andrews and Christian Kirk. So it should be an easy stack and a run back here. And that's really about it, I would say, for that game. We'll go to the next game here. We got Denver, Carolina. Bunch of trash quarterbacks. It's sad to say Russell Wilson trash because 5,400, man, who would have thought? But it's not really much I want here. No more Melvin Gordon here for Denver. So the run game here, period. We're looking at, let's see, how many points were we looking at here? Is there even any good points here to get? Man, where's this Denver game at on my notes? Why am I not seeing it? Oh, there it is. Oh, my bad. So we're looking at 22.9 points to running backs that Broncos giving up. Oh, we're looking at a lot of points for fantasy for Panthers with 26.1. So maybe in play is Murray. I mean, they don't really have any other running back. And $5,000, Latavius Murray, getting 17 to near 20 attempts and catching, okay, getting something in the past too. Maybe this is a huge game for Murray for 5,000. So maybe you can roll with that. But other than that, I don't really see anything I want from this game, y'all. Like I think DJ Moore is a sleeper play here. I ain't gonna lie though, because when Sam Darnold last season, his first like 3 to 4 games, we was looking at 12 targets DJ Moore every game, and DJ Moore was putting up 20 to 30 fantasy points, and he is a slot receiver, but lately he's been playing like out wide and things like that. But if he gets back into the slot in this game and gets to that 12 targets, I can see him having a big game. So I guess we got two value plays here we can look at that could possibly do very well. But it's just quarterback play here. Yeah, we can't really lean on much here. Dolchich has been a great play for weeks before. This is not the best matchup, but he is supposed to be able to get about 11 fantasy points. So that's all in play there for 3,700. It's not bad. But also pay attention if it is going to be pouring raining, because these quarterbacks are so bad. So if it's pouring raining, that just pushes more for me to think Latavius Murray could be a great play. Tampa Bay here got some good stuff here, even though this is supposed to be, looks like the rain is going to be here affecting this game too. But Tom Brady, I feel like we see Fournette is doubtful. Rachaad White, great play. Looking about 30 something fantasy points, 30 fantasy points for the Browns giving up to running back, and it's just perfect timing for us to have 5,100 Rachaad White. And, I feel like that's a great play for him. They need to run the ball a little more anyways with this team, especially with the rain too. But there is an injury report here. Flip this around real quick. We have, where is it on the Browns? The Browns, okay, so left side cornerback is out for the Browns this week. So we're looking at Mike Evans. I believe he lines up on the left side more than Julio Jones. So Mike Evans could be a big game for him, if the weather doesn't affect them at all. So a Mike Evans, Rachaad White stack doesn't sound too bad, or just want to go with one or the other doesn't sound bad at all either. With 6,700, and you get in the savings anyways by taking Rachaad White for 5,100. Could have a big game for them too. Besides that, the other side of this game, definitely Cooper is in play. This team is a 2 wide receiver set team, so it's not a legit slot receiver, but they need to attack the middle of the field, and Cooper is the best route runner to get to the middle of the field, breaking inside and things like that on his routes to get open. So, and they are at home. It's just about, like I said, as long as the weather doesn't affect them, I can see Cooper, Mike Evans, and a Rachaad White stack there could work out. So besides that, we want to take a shot at the tight ends. Njoku would be in play because, like I said, need to attack the middle of the field. And Cade Otton just consistently getting some targets, just being a part of the offensive scheme. So definitely it's cool to go there too as well. Let's see, Houston, Miami. Great spot here, man, for Tua. Looks like it won't be no weather problems here. So I really like Tua here also because got some good news here for y'all. Looks like the left side cornerback is out. So we're looking at Desmond King, something Trevere Thomas or something like that, and somebody named Nelson something. I can't remember his first name. But yeah, we're looking at those cornerbacks playing. Their rookie standout cornerback is out, and he's been the best cornerback they've had, like at least kind of slowing down some of the receivers and things like that. But if Miami does decide to not just run the ball with Jeff Wilson and succeed that way against Houston, because we do know Houston gives up the most fantasy points, I believe, to running backs. Let me just make sure I'm correct on that, y'all, before I say something like that and it's wrong. But yeah, it is. Okay, so 32.5. So like I said, the first one was the Browns, and then we got 32.5 there. With the Texans. So definitely Jeff Wilson's huge in play. Home running back. I feel like they run a little more too when they're at home. As you saw 17 times there last week. So definitely I feel like, definitely great play there for, 5,900. Could have a big 30-something point fantasy point day, day there. But we do know Miami is going to throw the ball, and they're going to set up the play action and things like that. And the fact that you don't have your shut down cornerback basically per se, Tyreek Hill's probably gonna have a huge day, him or Waddle. But I feel like the thing is though, the cornerback that's filling in for the rookie that's out is usually Desmond King is usually in the slot. With normal days he's lined up in the slot. So basically, I don't know if they're gonna line up Desmond King out wide, or they're gonna keep him in the slot to try to slow down Waddle. But so one of these receivers is going to have a great day, period. I feel like because they're going to get the matchup of a cornerback that can't just hang with them, period. And I don't even care if they, even if Desmond King is on water, I feel like he's still not even proven to shut down anybody. So both of these, this could be a full stackable game here with Tag, and then talking about Jeff Wilson. Maybe one receiver or even going with two. It just really depends on how much you think Houston is able to compete. Also, if they're not turning over the ball over and over, since Davis Mills is not going to start this game, they're rolling out with, I believe, Kyle Allen here. And we don't know what to expect from him. Miami's defense could be shutting him down at 3-and-outs, or maybe he could have a decent day with Brandon Cooks, because we do know Miami does give up points to quarterback and receiver as well as tight end. But we just don't know who to go to when it comes to tight ends. Atkins could be a great play. But with a new quarterback in play, I feel like if anything, he probably sticks to trying to throw to their best receiver. Maybe they move in Cooks, to the slot more. If not, Chris Moore would be the play here to run back if he wanted to run back somebody, because he is the slot official receiver that starts there. It's just that Brandon Cooks is just the best receiver, and probably gets you the most fantasy points if they're able to compete at all. So definitely I love Tua though this week. But we're gonna keep it moving here. We got Chicago and the Jets. I think this is just an ugly game. I don't really want anything from this game. Fields is banged up. Then we rolling with, I believe, Mike White is starting, right? Am I wrong about that? Yeah, we'll start. So, really just don't know what to expect here. I think there's an injury report, though, here. Let me make sure. Chicago's looks like strong safety is out and left side cornerback is out. So, could be an easier matchup for Corey Davis or Elijah Moore. Because they're the ones that line out wide. We got Garrett Wilson in the slot, but that's where the injury is out wide. So Elijah Moore or Corey Davis could have a good day, but like I said, we just got quarterback play that is so iffy. If I had to take a shot, it probably would be Elijah Moore, since he's just more cheaper. They keep saying they want to get him more involved. This could be the week, Besides that, I don't think I really want anything. Feels, I think he probably will play and probably run the ball. Still, but I think they're going to want him not to run as much because he's hurt. So maybe Montgomery could be a play. But a shoulder injury, I just don't know if he's going to be able to throw as accurate, anymore. So I kind of just will stay away from that game completely to me. But Cincinnati and Tennessee here, this should be a good game. Joe Burrow, man, is like I tell you, he's like Pat Mahomes, caliber quarterback. I feel like if Chase is able to go, gonna have to keep an eye out on this. If he's able to return and go, it just opens up the field again, for all his receivers to be, great plays, man. They're just in a great spot here. Chase will be in a great spot. T. Higgins in a great spot. Tyler Boyd definitely in a good spot here. Definitely still like Hurst here, but just Burrow in general. Like I like Burrow for this game. Tennessee is going to try to just run the ball. We know that, and set up play action plays. We did see Treylon Burks get involved more in the passing. Finally had his best game, breakout game there. Probably he does well again. 4,200 is not bad. And being that if he legit becomes their number one receiver, that's going to be a great run back here. Because Burrow, I definitely feel like should be able to attack the pass with ease. Completion percent, I think, is high, too, against Tennessee. So, yeah, about 64%, completion percent there. So, pretty up there. Burrow should just be able to have a good day, man. In for possible to me, what is it? They say got 22 fantasy points there. And possibly to me, it could be more than that. I'm thinking 25, 30 or something like that, especially if Chase is able to go. So really like Burrow there. Like I said, run back could be Treylon Burks if you want to do that there. And like I said, Henry could be in play too. Still the home back. He's going to get 20 something touches. And it is, 22 fantasy points there. So, and with Henry, if he gets to 22, he possibly could get you 30 basically. So, definitely that's a good game there. I like that game. Let's see. We got Atlanta and Washington here. It's not a great game when it comes to quarterback play. I don't really know what I would really want from this game, really, y'all. We know McLaurin's supposed to be in play for a huge game, but quarterback play and the rain, I don't know, man. I don't know. If there was in Atlanta, I probably would like McLaurin even more. But let's see. Do we have any injuries here? I think we have something with Washington. Yeah, Washington's slot cornerback is out. So Zacchaeus is probably benefits a lot from that. So if you want to roll with Zacchaeus, being that he's a slot receiver and being that they don't have Pitts anymore attacking the middle of the field, because it probably would just been Pitts since he lines up as a wideout and things like that. But Zacchaeus could have his best game in this game because of that. And Washington was already bad earlier in the season in the slot. And I believe the cornerback was actually there, healthy and everything. And they was giving up 20 something to 30 fantasy points. So, like I say, Zacchaeus is a good play, man, with that injury. It's just quarterback play, he's not getting a lot of targets. You're getting 2, 4. So, could be in for a whack game, or he could hit for a touchdown for you, because of the cornerback is out. But, besides that, like I said, McLaurin sounds great. Logan Thomas is questionable now. So, yeah, we can't even go there anymore. So, I did think earlier I was actually liking B-Rob this week because I know Atlanta has been giving up, touchdowns to running backs and things like that. So, but there's just other good, low value running backs. Man, he could just I think he might go under the radar. He'll be low owned. Nobody will probably be thinking about taking him. Maybe they're taking Gibson too if they are taking a running back from this game. But the thing is, he still is getting the attempts, 15, 26, 13, 20. He's getting the attempts, and they are at home. We've been seeing Atlanta. We saw Foreman put up 40 or something fantasy points, then came back and did it 20 something. It is in play. That's all I got to say. B-Rob could have his best game in this game, in the rain game. So could be leaning on the run a little more, and he could break something big and get 100 yards and a touchdown or something like that. Possibly get 25 fantasy points. And like I said, since everybody's probably gonna have Rachaad White, could be a contrarian option tournament play there. So then we got the Chargers and the Cardinals here. I love this game, man. It's a lot of games I actually love this week. But I love this game because Murray looks like he's back, which is great. Great. Oh, that's great news. So he's back. Being that Fred Warner, I believe, was the linebacker who called out Hopkins. He called him steroid boy. So, yeah. All I got to say is I know Hopkins. He's my favorite receiver. I don't. He said he didn't know how those steroids got into his health routine and things like that. But we don't know for sure. Nobody really knows if it was true or not. But he's still producing, steroids or not. So my thing is, I know one thing about Hopkins. He usually shows up if somebody talks mess. About him. He's a really good receiver. And I just feel like he had to hear that, what Fred Warner just said. He only came 9 yards short of having 100 yards in that game against them, and he called him steroid boy. So still had a great game to me, just didn't get in the end zone. And I feel like in this game, possibly a huge shootout game. Only game I think we got in a dome. So no weather issues to be involved, and being at two great quarterbacks, Arizona's fighting to even stay alive in the playoffs. Chargers is fighting too as well, in their division and everything. So, definitely feel like this could be a huge, shootout game. It's the only thing is I will say it looks like we got some injuries. Yeah, a lot of people out. So it just leads up to Hopkins, for real. I don't see why Hopkins doesn't have a big game. Full safety is out for the Chargers. Free safety is out for the Chargers. My bad. So, getting down the field, deep down the field, looks like, they have so many injuries to their great receivers, talking about Marquise Brown still out. Rondale Moore is out. Greg Dortch is actually questionable because Greg Dortch would be in a good spot. But thumb injury is you got, you need your thumb to catch the ball. So, I don't know what to expect there. And I love taking whatever person they put in the slot, but we don't even know now who is Arizona going to even put in the slot, because all the receivers now that are able to go, for sure that's able to go, aren't never been slot receivers basically. Robbie is wide out, AJ's been a wide out all his life, DeAndre Hopkins has been a wide out. Yeah, you can move him in there. So it just feels like more than likely Hopkins gets 15 targets in this game. Probably one of the best receivers on the slate really now, with all these injuries and being that Kyler Murray is back. And on the other side here, also I do like McBride. I did mention that too, because basically he could become almost their kind of slot receiver because he's going to line up in that area. So 3,100 there and in a good spot against the Chargers. They're giving up, tight ends and stuff like that anyways. On the other side though, man, Herbert's in a great spot, y'all. I know he's got to be super happy to at least have Keenan Allen back out there. And long as Keenan Allen can stay healthy in this game, definitely I think he's in for a huge game. He came so close to 100 yards in his first game back. And I feel like he probably gets there this game with Less competition for targets too with no Mike Williams, and being that you need to attack the middle of the field anyways. I'm thinking it pushing maybe 11 targets in this game, possibly gets him to 20 something fantasy and a touchdown. He always was looked at for red zone targets anyways. It also still opens up Joshua Palmer. If he's going to get 10 targets now too, again with Mike Williams being out, definitely a great play there. This is just a full shootout game, man. Like both running backs are in play. To be real with y'all, both running backs are in play. With Eckler, he's still pass catching option. The only thing is, as long as I would say Keenan Allen is there, a little bit of his target is gonna drop because he was popping out to the middle of the field and being their slot receiver. So I think the targets do drop there for him. So kind of, I don't think he's probably worth 8,500, but he is one of their biggest red zone threats. James Conner, he looks, I don't know, something seems wrong with him, but don't really know what it is, but we did see earlier in the season, and even as the season got later, Chargers give up big runs. So if they are running a little bit more because of Kyler Murray is just getting back from injury and a hamstring at that, probably not expecting him to run as much. Maybe they do lean on a little bit James Conner, so he does have a good game. Just the fact that I think this game is going to have a lot of scoring puts both of these running backs in play, but as well as huge gains for the receivers. Tight end definitely for both sides is in play because both of these teams give a tight end, but we know first place in the league in fantasy points is the Cardinals. So Everett coming back. I know, like I said, Herbert got to be so happy to have two weapons like that back. Keenan Allen and Everett both being there, and to still also have Joshua Palmer and Eckler. So big game, man, for those two quarterbacks. I feel like in this game, I just see a great shootout game. A high 30s is what I think happens in that game. So we got the Vegas Raiders and Seattle as the next game here. Do we got any injuries to report here? Oh, and my bad, y'all. I meant to say in that last game, and go back just real quick. Slot cornerback is out for Arizona. So Brian Murphy is out, y'all. So huge game for Keenan Allen if he's able to just stay healthy. If he could just stay healthy and out there, because otherwise, if you think he's gonna get hurt, DeAndre Carter is a great value played in at 3,700 because you're gonna be able to attack the slot so well, like easily. So if you think Keenan Allen can just stay out there and be healthy the whole game, huge game coming for him, I think, because of that. So then the Raiders here, we got Seattle versus the Raiders here, and this is supposed to be a rain game, so I think they both end up leaning on the run a lot. Since home back, also Raiders giving up a lot of fantasy points to running backs, especially teams that are willing to run a lot. Giving them almost 30 points every game, it feel like, so Kenneth Walker is huge in play to me, at home, being a team that they already kind of run the ball a lot. I definitely think he gets 20 something touches in the rain. And also he's in the passing too option. So I love the play there. I feel like he's going to have a huge game. Looks like Josh Jacobs came up questionable now. Okay, so if he's able to go, they're going to definitely lean on the run too there, but definitely feel like, take the savings and just roll with Kenneth Walker. We know Devontae Adams is always in play. Even in the rain, I feel like, yeah, he's going to get the targets and stuff like that. DK Metcalf and Lockett, if anything, I think Lockett and then Noah Fant is probably the best plays in the passing option here, because they run a 3-4 defense, want to attack the middle of the field, and those are the two that kind of line up there. And besides that, I mean, if it wasn't raining, Geno would have been a really good play. We do know completion percent is the highest against the Raiders, and they're giving up first place in fantasy points to quarterback. So if you want to still roll with Geno and don't care about the rain, I think he's just going to have a great game, and they don't lean on the run a lot, then you can definitely take a shot at Geno. And the Rams versus the Chiefs, man, this was set to be a good game if Matthew Stafford was playing. Looks like they're rolling with, is it Bryce Perkins? Am I right? First team reps, yeah. Okay, so they're rolling out with Bryce Perkins this game. I don't know really what to expect here. The line hasn't been able to protect when Stafford was in play, and now you got a backup who's willing to actually run the ball a little bit. But if anything, I feel like they're going to have to lean on the run with Akers in this game a lot more, since they don't have even a backup really. Now that they sent what was his name? Stevenson, I believe, or am I wrong about that? Oh, my bad. Henderson. They sent him out, so their go-to now is Cam Akers. The only thing about Akers, man, he just ain't. I mean, even with touches, I feel like he just ain't showing me anything. Definitely he's a great spot, great value and everything. It just he just ain't shown anything to me. Like I don't know what to expect from him. I feel like randomly the backup that comes in for him, if it's Brown here, could do great or something. Just because I just ain't seen it. I just ain't seen enough. Maybe any of these backups that want to really play hard or something like that. Ronnie Rivers or something ends up scoring a touchdown or something because he actually out there and has some skills or something. I just, like I said, I just ain't seen enough from Akers, man. But I know he's in a great spot. So you want to take a shot there. If you think they don't get behind so big that they, can lean on the run still, then yeah, definitely Akers. Besides that, passing wise and catching, let's see, Juju is going to be a play. Now that he's a go and he's playing in the slot, that's where you want to attack the Rams. They're giving up 37 fantasy points to receivers. The Chiefs is giving up 41 fantasy points though, so there is definitely some plays over there with Jefferson. I feel like he's in a good spot since Robinson now is coming up questionable. With an ankle injury too at that. They probably lean on Jefferson a lot more. Also, their tight end is kind of banged up too with Higbee, and I feel like they should have been able to go to him in this game too, but he's kind of banged up. So I think Jefferson is in a huge spot as well as Skoranek. We saw Tutu Atwell, I think, scored a touchdown one shot, but don't really know. He's such a small receiver. I would think Skoranek and Van Jefferson is a great play. But on the other side here, I love Juju. I love who else I want to say. With Tony being out, MVS definitely got to be, since he knows all the plays and stuff like that. If they was taking any deep shots in this game, it will be MVS since he lines out wide. Juju's in the slot, so he get a lot of inside yards after the catch type plays and stuff like that, which he was doing really well with yards after catch this season before he got hurt. I also do like any one of these receivers down here with Watson and Sky Moore. I feel like they're going to be involved in the offense this week. So for $3,000, definitely feel like you can take a shot at either one of them. It's you just gotta hope you get the one that ends up scoring, because I definitely feel like they both had 9.7 points here. I think Sky Moore might have had more than that. 11 points there for his last game. So it's all about who you think is going to score. Like if they can come up with some packages for one of these receivers to score, I kind of lean more to Sky Moore just because he's more explosive. But we've seen Watson already score a touchdown at least this season. We haven't seen anything from Sky Moore, but maybe they did make some more plays for Sky Moore to get involved in red zone packages and things like that. Like take up the what we were seeing from, what I want to say it was not Tony, but Hardman. We were seeing a lot of red zone packages plays get for Hardman, so maybe they do one of those like little toss run plays for Sky Moore, since he has that speed and that's how he gets that touchdown. And then after that, he probably catches, how he had 9 points last week, so maybe possibly 19 points here. So that's what I see there. I think that's a great play there. My bad. I meant to also say, of course, as always, Kelsey's gonna be the one of the best plays, at tight end because of the targets, and also going against a 3-4 defense, which we saw what he did just last week against a 3-4 defense. I think that was 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns, yeah. 3-4 defenses, he just really have done very well, though. If you see right here, all 3 weeks right here was all 3-4 defenses, 20-something plus fantasy points, basically. So definitely going to be in play. And then the last game of the slate is New Orleans and the San Francisco 49ers. I definitely believe, New Orleans defense is a little bit tougher. Questionable this week, not being just out as all the other weeks before, is Lattimore. So he's probably going to be back, which, he plays out wide. So I think, somebody like a Ayuk will have a harder time than if he's back. But the slot, receiver play here, being that I would say somebody like Debo, if he's able to go hamstring, oh, that sucks, but Debo, if Debo's not able to go, then I think Kittle just gets more involved, as we saw last week. And I called it. I tried to tell y'all it was going to be Kittle because he said he wanted to get more targets. But the coach even said it's hard for them because they just have so many weapons. So if somehow Debo is not able to go, it actually opens up more targets for somebody like a Kittle and a Ayuk too as well. But they don't really have another like slot receiver that I would say just fills in for like Debo's position. But Jawan Jennings might become more in play than even Ayuk, because if Ayuk is getting stuck by Lattimore or something like that, then somebody like a Jawan Jennings could be more in play. But I would really like Kittle, if anything, and as well as McCaffrey, because he would kind of be their slot receiver. So on the other side here, Andy Dalton and things like that, this is just a tough game, I think, period, for fantasy points to quarterbacks. Yeah, it's kind of not really high. No 20s here showing. The best thing option here is receiver points. So Chris Olave is still in play. He's been coming off of pretty good games, but Jarvis will have the easiest matchup. It's just going to be on, is he going to get more targets than 4 and 6? Like, if he can get near 8 or something like that to 10, then maybe. But if not, Chris Olave is probably going to be the best play just because he's always for the big plays on this team. We've seen a lot of Juwan Johnson too, I feel like, right? Targeting too. So definitely for 3,400, I don't mind going there too as well. Even though I know it's pretty tough, the 49ers do pretty well against tight end, only giving about 9 points, but still could be, a good option because he just doesn't line up with, some of the best cornerbacks and things like that. Looks like that's about it here. Yeah, the best plays I feel like kind of was all those ones that I just mentioned there. Yeah, so that's it for that. So that's all the slate here. Let's see. So now, man, it's like I said, it's a lot of good games that I actually love. Like, but I do feel that the most like back and forth game I can like actually back and forth would be the Herbert and Kyler Murray this week. And I kind of since I got an injury, I'm gonna go ahead and take the gamble, y'all. It's a super gamble because don't know if Keenan Allen can stay healthy, but if he can possibly stay healthy in this game, then I got to bank on him getting his points early, which I know something too about Keenan Allen and Herbert and them. They kind of do. I mean, remember when he was healthy and stuff before, like seasons before, they kind of get that first drive going down the field and they kind of aim to throw him a touchdown early. So that's how he ends up getting, going off early. Like he usually scores early in the game. And after that, of course, he just continues catching because he gets a lot of targets. So you just need him to, hit early because you're going to be worried about the hamstring and stuff like that. But it's been so many injuries hurting so many people's slates. Definitely been hurting my slates. So, but I'm definitely going to take the shot there because maybe some people don't take him because of the injury stuff that he has. I kind of want to run Hopkins back, y'all. I feel like that's a great spot there. It's going to make me have to take a very low value option, and I'm gonna go with Sky Moore here, y'all. Just because quarterback play, I mean, like I said, I could take Justin Watson too as well, so I don't really mind either one. Just quarterback play is so great, he spreads the ball so well, and since they're both gonna be out there on the field with a great quarterback, $3,000, that's where I want to go there. At running back this week, I'm gonna go ahead and take Rachaad White. I know it's the chalk play of the week. It's cool. At least I'll just cut off some people there then. As long as he does well. And I know another chalk play, which is a great spot, I feel like, and I need pieces from that game for sure. So I'm definitely going to have to go with Jeff Wilson up here. Wait, my bad, went too far. Jeff Wilson right here. At defense this week, let me see. I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Backup quarterback. I don't really know what I'm gonna get out of him, so maybe he does make a mistake on the road too with the Chiefs with how loud it gets there. Yeah, I think that could be a great play. The line too not holding up as strong there. And let's see. So now we got 12 for. So we got 62 for. Can I get Mark Andrews? Because he's in a great spot. So then I will have pieces from almost every game that I love. Like let's see. So we got the Herbert game stack that I really love, with a run back at least. We got the Cleveland game and the Houston, which both of those teams are the worst at running back. So definitely, and I feel like both of these teams do run a little bit more because we got weather issues here, and then we just got home back. Great spot. Feel like they could just get up big. Houston running with a different quarterback too. We don't know what's going to happen there. And I love Mark Andrews versus Jacksonville. He's the number one receiver there. Sky Moore being a value play. DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, so yeah, looks like we got this 5,900 range here. We got Tyler Boyd, which I love Burrow, so could roll with that. We got McLaurin here. Let's see, Juju. Wow, okay. Yeah, we're in a great spot here, y'all. Really great spot here. It's just on basically because quarterback play here, man. I kind of think maybe it's Burrow or Pat Mahomes. That's what I think I should go with here. So I'm going to go ahead and just toss in Juju just because it's a late option. And right now, I think, how many plays do I have late in here? Well, I think I might have a lot, because let's see. Is that one game? Is the Charger game late? Oh yeah, it is. So got the Charger game mid late, and then super late. The last of the slate would be the Chiefs here, and I got 3 plays here. So, but Andrews early, Wilson early, Rashad White early, and everything else is late, right? Basically in this lineup, but I love it. I actually love this lineup, man. Like, it's hitting on all the games that I feel like are very explosive. Could give me a lot of fantasy points, and like I said, got the option to change out Juju if I wanted to different great receiver plays. With McLaurin was in a good spot, as well as Boyd is in a good spot, but Boyd would be a better play, I feel like, if somehow Chase is still out this week. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But Juju is in a great spot because we know he's already, for sure the slot receiver, and he's back in the lineup and coming from a concussion, not a knee injury or something like that, or ankle or something like that. Concussion, you can come back and get right back into the fold of things and things like that. So love this play here. Y'all want to put this in? Let's all cash this big money, man. Win this big huge money this weekend, y'all. Good luck to all y'all. It's your boy Jaystar, and I'm out. Peace.